I had purchased this a while back and put it away for a rainy day project, but with the Atlas milling machine on the go here, I actually need this, so time to get this thing done. I've just been the last 4 or 5 minutes here kind of pondering operations and how I'm going to do this. I think there's an opportunity. I've got a little bit of room here to clamp in the vise, although that surface isn't flat. I was thinking to clamp it in the vise this way. Take a lick off this surface. Then we can use that surface. So now once I would have it there, I could get a perpendicular surface to that back, which then makes that flat. Then we could use that flat to get this angle. What are you thinking? I think step one is actually going to be, I'm going to just cut these off, and I'm just going to try and get some semblance of a flat surface here, just with probably just hand filing. It's got this is the parting line here, so it's got some draft both ways. So if I just work away through this section right here, I should be able to start getting something flat. This looks like this is part of the mold or the pattern, so I'm going to try and hold this surface down. I'm going to try and put this somewhat flat up against the fixed jaw, and then I'll figure out how to push it and hold it to start qualifying to get this piece here done. Well, it might be a little bit sketchy under there, but it feels pretty solid. Let's see what happens. I had just touched off and got that first little skim there, and then I backed it down 50 thou just look for any high spots. So I think the next step, obviously I got to clean up cast iron dust. Probably going to clamp it to the table this way, give myself a parallel flat surface up here, and then I can use that as a clamp to get this, and probably in a machinist vise, and then on an angle to mill this. That's the plan. So with two parallel sides now, I've got it clamped in the vise here, and I just used the cast surface on the angled on the dovetail side of this thing. I want to take the least amount of material off that surface and not create necessarily a knife edge there. So anyways, I use that cast surface as the first datum to create this backside here. I think I'm going to take just a touch more off of this surface. I don't expect to scrape a lot on this Camelback. So I won't be changing the position of these two surfaces very much. So I do want to have a pretty small flat here. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I don't want a knife edge either. I'd say my choice of operations here for setting this thing up was pretty good. That edge is There's just the tiniest of a flat there, and actually looks pretty parallel. A little bit of filing work. This parting line looks like there's a little bit of a shift. Do some filing work down inside the holes. And then we'll try and get her flat. Got all the critical surfaces are milled. These two here, to a certain extent the back here, just in case I want to make this 90. Did all the filing there just to clean up the parting line and stuff. And so yeah, next is we'll get this stoned and then start spotting it. With the bottom of this scrape now looking really good there. Next, I turn my attention to the smaller side here, which is going to be the for the dovetails. And what I did, I just did what they would call like blind scraping. I just scraped this. I don't know. I think four, maybe 6 different patterns, just to get rid of the milling marks. And then I've hit it with a file, and so now we'll get a marking on it and see what it looks like. Well, that's not too bad. That's with the blind scraping and getting a decent surface, you take a lot of time out of the process, chasing mill marks and stuff like that. I mean, not that the mill put really bad marks in there. And so here is the finished product. And this was a project that I took on strictly um, to be able to do the saddle on the Atlas horizontal mill, which is sitting here ready for delivery now. Shortly it'll be out, and I'll try and put a link to the videos on the restoration of this Atlas horizontal mill. And so yeah, I'm happy with the way it turned out. It worked well on the saddle, and so now it'll go into the storage with the other camelbacks, the large ones and straight edges and stuff that I have been using along the way here to qualify machines, and wait for the next project, whatever that happens to be. This table here, just for information, was ground. The ways were scraped, but the top of this was ground. Just looks more period correct than what I did on the Bridgeport, just because the Bridgeport was in such bad shape, and it was easier in my opinion to scrape it than to grind it. So anyway, yeah, very happy with the way the Camelback turned out here. 6-inch scale there. So